Tyler starting off from the right side, looking for that second ball down, and he's going to get a ball, and he's got a very decent looking first split. It's exactly what he would have been hoping for. Exactly what he would have been hoping for. He's spoken to us a couple of times already this weekend about the struggles with the break and how much it's been letting him down, essentially, despite not really doing a huge amount wrong. But a good chance here to open things up.
Yeah, everything looks pretty open other than the 3 ball and the 5 ball. So I think in this situation I may like the stripes. If the 14 passes the 2, which I think it does, and I think we'll see him work that into the table very quickly here.
Slightly awkward cueing there for Tyler over 3 balls. Would have been a foul if there was any contact on those. Referee Daryl Hibbard was all over that. Getting in his morning calisthenics there was the referee, stretching it out. Test if he's fit and ready to rumble for today. I think it had to be stripes there for Tyler, and I think he's actually in really nice shape for it, honestly. 14 is the only issue, and he can get there now.
I didn't really like moving that ball because I thought it would go, but he may have had to because it didn't. Cameras can be a little deceiving sometimes. So he didn't get a terrible layout after that breakout.
No, this should now be 1-0.
As we've talked about all weekend, Friday night, fresh felt, extremely fresh. Fast felt, the pockets are 4 inches at the opening, but the slickness and the friction, or lack thereof, really opened up the pocket for a lot of the balls. We're now day 3. It's a little humid outside. There's a lot of people in the building. The table conditions have changed, and I have a feeling that we're going to see those pockets tighten up a little bit.
I don't know if it'll come into play too much with the likes of these two, for example, who outstanding players. 4-inch pocket shouldn't really be a problem for them anyway. But table first thing on Friday definitely played a bit easier than it will do now. Wait and see if it becomes a factor. Tyler's taking these out methodically. And a very nice start, this. We're races to 7, 50 minutes on the match clock. If we do get down to 0, and we haven't had one of the players get to 7, we will take the result at 0 on the clock.
Tyler looking to add 2024 Kansas City Open champion to that resume.
Oh, no. Well, Tyler wanting to give that second ball break a little bit extra, and that's the worst thing that can happen on the break, because this is a rule that we don't always often get to see. It's quite difficult to bounce the cue ball off this table, but it's not just cue ball in hand in the kitchen, it is cue ball in hand wherever you like it. So Chase Stumfoll is going to place the cue ball in the kitchen here, but he doesn't need to. He can go wherever he likes.
Yeah, and just so a little bit different of a rule. So a scratch puts you behind the kitchen line, and a cue ball off the table, it's a little bit of extra punishment. It's anywhere on the table, correct?
Yeah, it just becomes a standard foul.
And Chase may be unaware of that particular rule, but he's got a good shot here to break out one of his problem balls.
It wouldn't surprise me if he was aware, but just because the top left of the table is the awkward bit, and I don't mind getting that ball out of the way. You've got quite a big gap to get through to the 14. Automatic link to the 8 ball. So I think even if you could, and he could, place the cue ball anywhere he wanted, I think that was a good place to start.
That's a good call there, Stephen. The tin ball here connects well to either one of these balls. So disastrous setup for Tyler Styer here. Definitely not the way he wanted to start this rack.
Chase has got one really good shot to play, and the easier he can make that, of course, the better. He has to land nicely on the 14 at the top of the table. There is a nice little gap there, but you want a good angle to then connect to the 8 ball. So this right now is the key shot. If he nails this, he's home and hosed.
Yeah, I think he's got a nice angle to pull this cue ball back. The 1 ball is really his only issue, and if he can steer clear of that 1 ball, that's a good shot.
Yeah, played that really nicely.
Finding the gap there is so important, and you see a lot of players that always seem to end up behind that 1 ball. Cannot wait to see some of those matches. Sophia Mast, Caden Herbach, both very good players. I don't want to play them, that's for sure. I don't care how old they are. They're a little scary.
And Sophia is very much still batting in the Women's Open as well. She's in the winners' qualification rounds.
Yeah, such a star that one is, and as small as she is very, very mighty on the pool table.
Yeah, small but mighty for sure. So still a lot of pool to be played in the Women's Open. It's at a similar-ish stage to where we are right now in the main Open event. And the Junior Open is starting to tick down, which makes sense. You know, those guys they've got bedtimes to get to.
I knew that was coming.
It's the key shot in this visit for Tyler. That's come out okay, as long as that, say that, as that 9 just come across to block the 3. He's immediately come to look at it. I think he's probably got just enough room, but that nearly went pretty badly wrong for him.
Oh, played that one with a little bit of a bump off the rail, but it worked out.
Yeah, top right corner of the table is the issue for him. The 9 that he bumped has made that pocket small. This is tight.
Oh.
Wobbles in.
And used all of the pocket there. Haven't had to discuss it much throughout the event. The score is 4-4, and we are at the 20, just a little over the 20-minute mark. For anybody who hasn't been watching or is new to the format, we do like to speed the game up a little bit when it gets there to the end. At the 10-minute mark, if we get there, our 30-second shot clock will drop to just a 15-second shot clock. And generally, if that happens, we are very close in score, and it ramps up the pressure in that arena.
In the end, it is another pristine visit from Tyler Styer. One chance, one rack on the board. Not without its dangers. Oh, he's going to take this one long, I think. Yeah, it just goes to show how little the side pockets are trusted on these tables.
Look at this break. Ball down. Multiple balls down. Oh, look how beautiful this is. Chase Stumfoll on the hill with an amazing rack in front of him. This is the rack I want every single time. We are down to that 15-second shot clock.
The only thing that can go wrong, you feel, for Chase is just not being able to hold it together under the pressure. It's a quick shot clock, but this is for a spot in the last 16 to knock out one of the pre-tournament favourites. Hardest racks to win, the first and the last. This should be the last.
And being on the hill against Tyler in your first shot as the 15-second shot clock, that's got to be a little daunting, because you really want to take your time on a rack like this.
Okay.
It's still workable. He'll be able to play the 5-ball up. He needs to split the gap between the 11 and the 10. Just needs to see a line of sight to that 6-ball.
And he's got it.
Does the 8-ball pass to the bottom left? I think it does.
Yeah, it flies in. This is over.
And this is huge. And I can tell you right now, expect a roar from the crowd if this 8-ball drops in that pocket, because the Kansas City local just beat Tyler Styer. Wow, what a match.
What a moment for Chase Stumfoll, and he's got plenty of his supporters here in Side Pockets Blue Springs. Puff of the cheeks from the young man. That's a big, big victory for him, and one of the favorites falls in the first match of the day in the Kansas City Open.
Welcome back to the arena. Jordan Shepard and Sean Jones is what we have lined up for you here. Jordan Shepard, of course, our Kansas City Shootout winner, hoisted the trophy on Friday, looking to add another one to his collection today. And Sean Jones, who had a really great match against Chris Melling yesterday, made some really good shots. I have a feeling this one's going to be a tight one. Whoever can find the groove first may take this one off. And Sean very quickly using his extension here early in the rack. Has a tough opening shot here. Oh no. Unfortunately there, to play a combination, you must hit your called suit first and make your called suit. Cannot play a stripe into a solid. So that is going to be a loss of turn. And Jordan Shepard back to the table. A simple mistake by Sean there, but a costly one, because Jordan definitely has an opportunity to take this rack down now. There you see it on the shirt. The Welsh Wizard is what they call him. Jordan Shepard making the trip over, enjoying his time so far in the U.S. Finding success here in our Ultimate Pool USA arena. Looks like he's going to find success in this first rack against Sean Jones. Jordan a player not known for taking a ton of time to get around the table, very similar to Chris Melling in that manner. And a very simple mistake by Sean is going to give Jordan an opportunity to take down the first rack. And the 8-ball goes in. It is 1-0 to Jordan Shepherd. First rack, lots of action left.
What you could see yesterday when he played against Chris Melling before being bumped into the B side is that this is a guy who really knows what he's doing around this table. The thing that caught him out a lot was the table itself. And in the early frames, he almost couldn't quite believe what he was doing was making the results happen. He was drawing back 6 inches when he was looking to stop the ball, and he became a little tentative then, and that's only natural because you're scared of hitting the ball a little bit. But now he's had that game, he's had a little bit of experience, and I'm hoping we see more of the natural Sean Jones in this game. But he's got a long way back already. That's the one thing that Jordan does exceptionally well, is he is a brilliant front runner. Once he gets ahead of steam, he can just rattle off entire matches, and you almost feel like you're sat in the opposite chair, caught in a tornado. It's a nice little bump.
Well, and I'll tell you, I'm not quite sure how old Sean is, and I don't dare guess, but he's been playing since he was 7 years old. So clearly a very seasoned player, and may have a few years on Jordan. How old is Jordan?
34, 35, I think, somewhere around there. Not sure exactly. I think he had a birthday recently. But yeah, mid sort of 30s.
Well, for his age, he does have a ton of seasoning, does Jordan. Seems to have played very well.
Bank shot, no good for Sean Jones. So one thing you notice is the slide on the bank shots is pretty pronounced on this main arena table.
And we have so many potential great matches coming up that you can't help but get excited. Obviously, with the return of Justin Bergman being thrown into the mix here, and he's played quite well on this table, and he's got a very interesting match, possibly clashing with Shane Thompson if Shane can manage to get by his opponent. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Shane Thompson, known as the safe cracker. What happens when it runs into the iceberg?
Played that well, Jordan. Tried to go into it immediately, didn't get any result, and that's why it's always such a good thing to go into your work early. It's a lovely shot.
You know what I find fascinating is we've seen Jordan a couple times in the shootout here in the arena yesterday. You know what Jordan does best is dominate his opponents. When he's playing good, and like you said, we haven't seen it yet, we also see another great match in Chris Melling versus Blake Baker. Blake had a little bit of success on this table.
And I can tell you those are our 2 next matches as well. So Melling versus Baker will come next, followed by Bergman Thompson. Strap in.
Well, you couldn't ask for a more star-studded lineup there. Justin Bergman and Shane Thompson has the potential to be the match of the day so far. We've seen some good ones already. Chase Stumfoll taking out Tyler Styer. And in what really was an incredible match.
Oh, foul's been called. I think it was a cloth foul on the 5-ball.
Unfortunate there for Sean. He just can't seem to get anything going.
And this is what Jordan thrives on. It's absolutely what he thrives on.
Yeah, he gets an opportunity at the table when he shouldn't have, and he's gonna kick you while you're down because he's gonna beat you up for it.
Yeah, he's almost when he's like a shark. When he smells blood, it just unlocks an extra little gear in him, and he speeds up. He plays better. The best way to beat Jordan Shepherd is to put him under pressure, get a lead if you can. There's no guarantee to beat him, of course. He's still perfectly capable of winning those kind of matches as well. But the last thing you can allow to happen is for him to build up a head of steam and start to fly. And he's an incredibly dangerous player then. What I'm noticing as well this morning is we've seen the pockets play generous and all the rest of it. Everything's hitting the middle of the pocket. He's flying.
Well, with that Chinese 8-ball background, you do have to be very, very precise in that game. So I'm sure that helps him a little bit. You know what I've just realized now is when we were in the shootout on Friday, obviously we saw Jordan play well. We saw Chris play well on the way there. It just hit me how incredible that match was between Chris and Jordan. Just because how similar their styles are. They play almost exactly the same. They're both, like you said, a little bit of a bully on the table. They both play very quick. This is the first mistake I've seen from Jordan Shepherd here, and it's a big one.
Yeah, the mistake wasn't that shot, actually. It was the one before. Left himself really, really thin on the 5. And he's lost his cue ball here. Can he find a way of recovering it? Almost.
It's going to be a good shot. Legal shot, but Sean able to come back to the table, and this is where he needs to turn into that shark. He needs to smell the blood. He shouldn't be at the table, and he is, so he needs to get this win here. And if he doesn't, the confidence for Jordan Shepherd will just blow through the roof.
I think the 15 goes into the left center pocket, side pocket.
Yeah, it definitely does. I don't necessarily like the angle that he got. I think it went from just a stop shot angle, but it shouldn't change much other than the angle on the 8-ball. Obviously, 7-foot table, not extremely scary on these long shots, but it is very missable. Great shot.
Never in doubt from Sean Jones. His first frame racked up.
So many balls attacking close to the pocket. Look at this.
Oh, stripes look good here.
Stripes look great, and solids don't look good at all. So, barring a miss, I think Sean is going to win this rack. But even if he were to miss, it's going to be a fight for Jordan Shepherd to take this rack. It's got to be a little daunting sitting in your chair and watching a player with a decent run-out opportunity, but also knowing that if he does miss, you've got a lot of work ahead of you. That's something that I'd love to be inside the head of some of these great players sometimes, just to see what their reaction is to things like that. Sean taking no time at all running this rack.
It's been quick, all right. He was 4-0 down. And we are going to 4-all.
I'm not sure this rack is much more than 60 seconds long.
Tiny margins. How's the break?
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. This is not bad other than the 6-ball. If he can navigate this 6-ball into an open shot, I do believe that Sean Jones will take this match.
I think there's a real argument for going stripes here. You can play the 14 first, and the rest of the stripes are all pretty open.
You're 100% right. I seen it now. Uh-oh. Doesn't want to get behind the 4.
Oh, a twist. A twist. First and the final racks are the hardest to win. And Sean Jones here has stumbled in sight of the finishing line.
I think I'm going to need to get the number of a local masseuse because this is stressful sitting here watching this. He made a good hit, but no rail after contact. That is a ball in hand foul. And Jordan Shepherd has an opportunity to take this to the hill.
He's going to go straight into the 6 ball.
And we have not seen very many Jordan Shepherd matches where the time clock came into play with the 15-second shot clock. If he wins this rack and doesn't speed run on the next one, he has a very good opportunity to have to deal with that 15-second shot clock. Not for long, though, because it will be hill-hill.
Yeah, hill-hill on a 15-second shot clock. It's exactly what very similar to what we saw Chase Stumfoll have to deal with in the first match of the day. His winning line visit came on a 15-second shot clock. The one thing I would say is 15 seconds a shot won't bother Jordan Shepherd. He is one of the quickest players anywhere in the world.
Well, got a little close to his work here. Going to have to make a change. I don't think it's going to bother him too much because he has the 5 ball available, and it does leave him in an area where he can just kind of redo this shot. He's gone too far.
I think he can just hold it. Feather this in. Oh, he was absolutely fine. He was dead straight. Great. That helps. So he was well okay to hold it.
You know, something that we haven't really talked about here, the 6 ball to the 8 ball, it's one of those shots that it's not hard. It's not a difficult cut on the 8 ball, but it can go wrong very quickly. I like this shot. I like coming back 2 rails and leaving myself for the bottom left because I think it.
You sure?
Well, he's short, but he got away with it because I think it does go in the bottom right-hand pocket. Just a tighter shot. The question is, where do you take the 8 ball from here? Oh, no.
Well. Is that the last shot Jordan Shepherd will play in the Kansas City Open? It should be.
Yeah, the 10 ball looks a little tricky, but it does go very clean in that pocket. What is the path here? How do you want to? What ball do you want to use to get on the 8? It's got to be the 10, correct?
It depends if it passes bottom left. I think if it passes bottom left, it's nice. Anywhere else, you want to get rid of that early. Here comes the 15-second shot clock. Don't make mistakes. Keep it tight, compact.
Played that very well. He's going to take the 10 ball here. He's just got to get shape on the 15. Oh, he ran a little far, but that's okay. It's an easy fix. You have a wide open table to get that cue ball back up.
Well, what a win this is about to see for Sean Jones, another hometown hero here in Kansas City.
That's the story of the day. The locals are taking it to the Sweet 16. Another upset here at the Kansas City Open, and 2 very big, I guess you would call them, do you call those a of upset. I mean, they both players played good. I don't know. We'll get into that here in a minute, but
Yeah.
I've got Sam Henderson here with me. Sam,
How's it going?
I know you played in the arena. You've been on the table. What do you think so far about Ultimate Pool USA?
Oh, it's great. The format's very exciting to watch with the whole shot clock and then the 6-ball shootout at the end. I haven't seen one yet this week, but I've seen videos and it's pretty exciting. It's just a format I think built for like watching. It's great to watch.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time, and I think you can probably relate to this. I don't know if you would want to necessarily play for the 6-ball shootout. You don't want that to determine whether or not you move on.
Yeah.
But a lot of times in situations like that, it's a spectator's sport. So being on the sideline watching somebody else do it, your heart would probably be thumping, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In the arena, maybe you're not too fond of it, but part of the game, and at the very least, you're prepared for it if it were to happen. So
yeah. From a spectator point of view, I'd like to see one. As a player, I don't know if I'd like to be part of one.
Well, Blake Baker here, wasting no time. He doesn't want to be in a 6-ball shootout, especially with this man he's playing, Chris Melling.
Blake is actually from my hometown, so it's been nice to see him. He moved to Washington, so.
Oh yeah. Well, and I guess actually now that I'm thinking about it, if you were going to be in a 6-ball shootout, maybe Chris doesn't want to be in one against Blake.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to be in a 6-ball shootout with Blake.
He's a 4-time. Is it 4-time?
I think 4-time speed pool champion.
As a junior, and I can tell you guys, we haven't seen anything yet from Blake where he's had to do that, but we were filming some content in the arena yesterday on the break, and Blake is a speed runner around that table.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure his record is 15 balls in 37 seconds.
That's a very, very quick time.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this shot. How beautiful is that?
Wow.
It's a double kiss.
He opened up the rack.
Double carom off of both of those balls to make that.
I believe the 3 passes, but it's a little tight.
Yeah, it's hard to tell sometimes from where we are. And we don't ever miss a ball in this commentary box.
Nope.
So I think...
The 2 definitely goes in the side.
Yeah.
But if the 3 went, I feel like he'd be shooting it.
I think you're right there. And anytime you shoot with speed on those side pockets, and we've seen a lot of balls slide in, but
yes.
You've been on the table. You can account for the fact that these pockets are not necessarily huge.
It's the tightest valley I've played on.
Yeah, and the felt just promotes the speed running in.
Yeah.
But in about 2 weeks' time, this might be the toughest table anybody's ever played on here.
Oh, yeah.
And Chris Melling taking no time. There's a reason they call him the magician. But as good as he plays, I don't think he ever has to do many of those crazy shots because he's probably the most composed player in this building right now.
Yeah.
Very comfortable on the arena table. Rack number 1.
It's a nice out. Didn't have to
Melling.
make any spectacular shots. Just had good cue ball control. A couple big names that I would have expected to be there, but
A couple that aren't too as well.
Yeah.
It's not a completely hard thought to think that your name should be there. You took a very tough match against Amy Beecham. She played phenomenal.
She played great, and my break wasn't working for me. Hers was, and I made a few positional errors that I wish I could have done something differently.
Yeah. Well, and it's one of those things. You're still young. You're going to learn quickly.
Yep.
You have the advantage of learning very quick. So the experience is definitely there for you. And who'd you play on the B side?
Ryan Robinson.
Ryan's a good player.
Ryan is a great player, and my break just continued, and I just wasn't making a ball in the break. He was, and that's basically the story of our match.
Yeah.
He'd break and run, I'd break dry.
Well, I do like the fact that you are a very what I said the other day was that I felt like you are a very composed player.
Yeah.
You're going to take your losses on the chin. You don't make excuses. You say, okay, this is what I did wrong.
Yep.
This is how I fix it. Now let's go to the practice table.
Yep.
So, great to see you involved here. I hope we see you at some other events in the future.
Definitely.
Play so well. Have the potential to win any of those shootouts or any of these open events as well. So, should be fun. And Chris Melling making it not fun for Blake Baker. And Blake
He's got a ball down.
to get a ball and a shot. Really need.
Oh.
The 10-1 is nasty. The 3 is not good.
Yeah, that cue ball. If the cue ball was a little, maybe an inch further to the right, he could have played the 10 ball and been just fine.
Or even an inch further. This way he could shoot the 11. I don't think he has a shot on the stripes.
Yeah.
And,
Well, he could break out the 3 right now. And then hope he gets the good angle on the 4 to break out the 1.
And if you're going to break out this 3 running into it, you need to make sure that you hit it with pace.
Oh.
He got it.
You got a little fortunate there.
A little lucky there. The 2 ball definitely goes. I don't like shooting this 3 ball.
I don't
right
mind
now.
shooting the 2, actually, and breaking out the 1 right now.
Yeah, if he can get the angle, I think the 4 ball is going to be his easiest bet. But you are a much better player than me. Oh. Oof.
Yeah, he got a little fortunate again.
It's tough taking those breakout shots like
Yeah.
that because it can cost you in the end.
Chris is showing a little smile there. He got the breakout that time, but he's gonna have a long shot. Oh no, he lands. It looks to be straight in on the 7 ball. I don't like leaving the 3 ball for the last ball to get on the 8. It's not bad if you are able to get on it easy, but it's got to go. He's fine. Especially with the 8 ball going past the 13 as well. That's a possibility.
Yeah, just doesn't want to overdo it on this.
No,
You
yeah,
see a
he
lot
wants
of
to
times.
have a pretty flat angle on the 1.
Yeah, a lot of times in these situations, players get a little anxious,
Yeah,
and it can cause a mistake.
that shouldn't be too bad. Just pull it over, or you can come around. Right, he's coming around. It's not bad.
Thought he was going to come up a little short there, but he really came out good.
Yeah.
So what we saw in the last match, Jordan Shepard up 4-0, and then we saw the big comeback by Sean Jones.
And, I mean, Chris isn't breaking great, so there's definitely a chance for a comeback. And Chris is going to break dry again.
I told you I didn't believe in the curse, but I'm starting to think you got him, Sam.
Oh, my goodness.
His break had been
He's having a
working
laugh
for him.
about it.
Yeah, his break had been working for him, but it's not now. And Blake Baker coming back to the table here with another opportunity.
I don't know what I like here. I don't really like solids or stripes, to be honest. He put that 4 ball in a pretty bad spot.
And now the cue ball is.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna bank it.
I think he's playing a little free flow now after that miss.
He's just.
If I miss it, I miss it. If I make it, I make it type of mentality.
Yeah.
And that can work out sometimes for you.
Sometimes it can.
This is a high ask right here because I think he's going to have to play the carom into the 7.
He's either playing a carom or he's playing a combination. I think he's playing a combination.
Combo's tight. Watch the 8 ball because it might be moving with some speed.
Oh my gosh, and he ended up making the 1.
Oh.
That was risky.
That was what I was worried about. Anytime you move that 8 ball with speed, it can be rough.
That kind of worked out for him. He could just come across the table and play the 5 next. Break out the 3.
And that'll be the big shot. And Chris.
I don't know what. I guess he can use the 2, but I don't know if the 5. Okay, they're showing it right now. The 5 does pass.
It looks so tight on this monitor here. I think you definitely have to play rail first.
Yeah, play it into the rail.
Get a little bit of a slide, but that's a hard shot to play. And move the 3 ball. Now it's almost impossible.
I don't even. There's not even a bank on the 3. It doesn't even look. I don't know if it goes by the 11.
He might be able to throw it by the 11 here. Yeah, he's going to play it with hard inside and try and come in, but it's just not there. Oh, you know what? I know this shot.
Kick bank it?
Kick into the back of the 3, 1 rail into the corner or the side, either one.
Yeah.
I like the side because coming off this rail, it's a big pocket at that angle.
I think he's just gonna take a whack at it.
Yeah, fire it.
Pray for the best.
100 miles an hour. He's got to get back down for the 8 ball anyway, so
yeah.
Speed is what he needs here.
And that's going to be the match.
Yeah, it should be. Chris has a couple shots here to be able to get onto the 8 ball. It's kind of separated from most of his stripes, but
I don't think I'll get him with the commentator curse again. I think that's going to be the match.
We'll see if the curse is real. It's kind of like the Madden curse.
Oh yeah, yep. Cover.
Some people think it's real, some people don't. But only one way to find out is we test it right now.
Yeah.
Sam said he's not going to curse him.
Nope. Chris is going to run out. That's my prediction.
You know, if he makes a mistake and something like that, you could quite possibly make a little money getting paid not to commentate anybody's match.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think there's no curse here.
Yeah.
He's definitely out. And what could have been for Mr. Baker going into that top 8 of the Kansas City Open.
Oh, no.
As we talk about it, I think the shot is there. I think he can just go a couple rails and go up table. The 8 ball's kind of middle.
He can play a shot with a lot of spin just to show off. Yeah. Good shot.
Great shot by Chris.
No curse today.
No curse today. Chris Melling will advance to the final 8. A win over Blake Baker.
With Nate Kane, the league operator for Kansas City area. Welcome in, Nate.
Hi, Dale. How are we doing today?
Fantastic, mate. We've got a mouth-watering match up here, and for the guys tuning in for Justin Bergman versus Shane Thompson. Shane from over the pond. We've seen him on a couple of matches on the TV table now, and Justin just breaking off there. Who do you like in this match, mate?
I got to kind of pull for Justin Bergman on it here. I mean, he's just one of our bar box champions, of course. I mean, he plays good on any table, of course. And but I've gotten to know Shane the last couple of events. He's hard to root against, but just got to kind of go for the American guys, I think. So
he has. He's got one of those demeanors about him, isn't he? He's a very likable chap off the table.
Yes, he is.
But a solid competitor when he's on the table. Very stoic in his chair there.
Yeah, but he is a competitor. He does not like to lose like none of us do. So
no, absolutely not. Thanks for reminding me. In the last 32. Cheers, pal.
Yeah, I lost just out of it, but I did lose to one of our locals, Chase, who had, of course, that really good match against Tyler there. So I don't think I would have wanted that Tyler draw. So I let Chase have it, let him to give it a whirl. So.
Yeah, big crowd favorite, and a big cheer went up when he won. And
yes.
Justin's already got a fantastic layout here, and he's really making light work of it. I always knew Justin as a bit of a slow player, but he really seems to be stepping up to the shot clock condition.
Yeah, I know. I mean, kind of bar box 8-ball. We've seen him in a lot of money matches, things like that. I mean, he's not too far away from here, and I've known him for several years and seen him play for a long time. And on the smaller track here, he seems to play a little bit quicker. Doesn't he definitely 9-ball. He's very deliberate and takes his time on a 9-footer. But
yeah, and just a stun shot here. I don't know what kind of angle. If he's dead straight, he'll probably just try and leave the ball below instead of playing the 10. So 10's going to be his key ball. Does go beyond the 3, so depends which way he wants to play it. I don't think he's got enough angle. He's going to have to leave a long shot into the corner and 8-ball in the same one. Yeah, it looks like he's dead straight there.
Yeah. Of course, with these guys, you don't have much of a long shot to them on the 7-footer.
I know he was able to cheat it.
Yeah, he was able to get quite a bit out of that.
He's actually the wrong side of it now, though. This is interesting. You may see him swing it round some rails here. Try and come back behind the 1-ball. Or you might just elect to go 1 rail and back. Oh, he was able to hold it. Very nice.
Yeah, it's a good shot.
And that's a good lesson for the amateurs watching. Using less rails, less cue ball movement, just accepting the harder shot on the 8-ball. Nicely done. Nice break.
Yeah, 12-ball kind of tied up in solids there.
Yeah. I mean, solids would have been perfect, wouldn't they? If that didn't drift down as much as it did.
Seems like it's always the last ball moving that seems to mess up the easy run up there. Mess up the easy run out, excuse me.
Yeah, I don't think the 7 goes by, do you?
It doesn't look like it does to me right now.
Interesting.
I'm still trying to get used to checking out the angles properly on all of our screens we have back here. So,
yeah, he's just rightly taken his extension. I think this is it's an important decision. I like stripes. I think the 11 goes off the 3, and I think that the 12 is fairly easy to manage from here. So I think it was a no-brainer, really. May elect just to take the 9 off the table, so he's working his way down into just the 1/2 of the table.
Yeah, as I kind of work with some of our lower skilled players in the leagues here, I always kind of preach that 8-ball. Try to stay on the halves or quadrants if you can, and that little shot into the side pocket there off the 3. A lot of our lower skills kind of don't ever see that or skip it. And I mean, that's a big shot that comes up quite often in an 8-ball pool.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be interesting to see how he manages this. I'd like to get that 12 out of the way sooner rather than later. I don't really want to be leaving it last. So we'll see which way Justin wants to go. Yeah, may elect to leave it till the last ball just to make sure that he pinpoints the position.
Yeah, we often don't want to be straight in, but straight in on that 11 ball off the 3 would be ideal there, so you can just stick to the rail, it looks like.
Yeah, no, that would be absolutely ideal. It doesn't matter if he goes rail first. I mean, he may even be looking at the rail first too, so he's got some options. Yeah, he didn't want to mess with it at all, and I didn't like that option. I mean, he's still got the skill shot. I like the skill shot. It's nice and deep in the hole already.
Just hit it clean, hit it square. It should follow it right in.
Ooh, and he's left a chance. He's left a chance. I don't think this 2-ball goes behind it, but I think he's got an opportunity now to maybe thin this one into the side pocket for 3. There's an easy starter. I don't like giving this one up. I think he's got more chances to come back and attack it. I'd rather play the 3 and come back at the 2 a little bit later in the game. But he wants to attack straight off. And he just took the pocket. He knew he wasn't going to make it. Nice play. And he's taken away that easy shot off the 3 by bringing the cue ball around. Well, he's left the bank, actually.
Yeah, I think it goes past the 8. If you wanted to make it to the sides, kind of let the cue ball loose, but also into the corner will probably lead to position on the 12.
Yeah, I mean, if he screws it enough, he might be able to get rid of the 2, right? Yeah, very
Perfect.
nice.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, man. Hit it too good.
Yeah, I thought you'd think he'd hit a rail going into that, right?
Right.
Super unfortunate. Lovely bank. And Shane really needs to make that one count if he's going to do any damage in this game. And this is where the Europeans, or the Brits rather, have excelled. Their pattern play is near perfect.
It really is.
For 8-ball especially. Not a lot of 9-ball in the UK.
Some of them they've been getting a 9-ball experience here, getting into a few action matches, things like that. And I mean, they just pocket balls so well that as soon as they figure out the break, they're pretty formidable at 9-ball as well. So
yeah, exactly. Nice smooth stroke.
yeah, I do really enjoy watching Shane's 8-ball game. He just keeps it very simple, but that cue ball is just absolutely on the string for the most part. And looks like he just never shoots a hard shot.
Yeah, very good fundamentals. You don't see him wobbling around too much. It's funny, in the UK, if you use a glove, you'll get some funny looks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what Shane, he's able to work out a Q-Tech deal there, and he's getting used to the Q-Tech. He's like, I'm definitely going to have to learn how to use a glove. That's what he said earlier this week, actually.
It is.
Especially with our humidity and how sticky it gets around here. It's in July, of course. And
he's got an interesting decision to make here. And these guys, they are playing with a shot clock, so the outer tables, you don't have to, you've got time to think about the shot selection that you want, or the particular suit of either solids or stripes. Here it's, I wouldn't be surprised if he's used his extension. What did you prefer there?
Man, I don't know. I mean, the 6-ball looks like you can, if you get a good angle on it, does go past that 13, but the 1-ball is just a massive problem on this rack.
Yeah, because the skill shot still doesn't... I mean, if it gets right behind it, the skill shot might work.
Yeah, it almost looks like that. I can't... 15 may be a little too deep and can't get it square enough.
He's going to play the skilly here off the 3.
Ah, that's a good point, yeah. Didn't look at that.
I say the skill shot. I don't know if we've come to slang terms for this particular shot yet.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I have never heard it called a skill shot, but I figured out what you were talking about pretty quick there. So
that's how I know it.
Yeah.
And it's interesting with the skill shot. You can play it at that speed, and the ball will naturally turn over. A lot of people think you have to put draw on it. You really don't. And he's opened up the game massively here because that 1-ball's an incredible key ball to the 8. Just needs to hold the cue ball here. Yeah, nice shot. Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, that bump of the 14 made that just a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, I'd have preferred a little bit of angle. He's going to have to draw, if he really wants to be sure, make sure that he's going to draw beneath the 14 here.
Back into it, but he should be able to.
Oh, he went the other side of it. I don't know if he meant to do that, but...
His body language, you looked a little surprised by that, but yeah, it worked out.
He'll take it.
Yeah.
Like I say, this is for him to get back level again at 4-4, so we've really seen them trading blows left and right. Nothing in this match, and I do believe it's going to come down to a breaking error to see who's going to take this match. Now, remind me, Nate, if it goes 6-6 on the TV table, is that a shootout?
I think, aren't we to 7-7 on the Arm in the winners of qualification right now?
It's race to 7, but I'm wondering if they get to 6. If they both get on the hill, is that a
no? I believe
shootout?
it has to be like they still play the race to 7, but if it doesn't get done and the match clock runs out, then we go to a shootout.
Then we go to a shootout.
Yeah.
Okay, good reminder for me. And may the best man win. Wonder if Bergman might change his breakup, or whether he'll just stick to the same.
Yeah, I think he just needs to kind of bear down and hit that second ball a little more square.
What's funny is he's not using a break cue. He's using his playing cue, which is that's an old school kind of Americanism, right?
And if you saw me out in the arena, I was 1 cue all weekend long here. So
yeah.
not that I have anywhere near the break or shooting ability of Bergman here, but I just kind of found on this break that if you give it a little bit with your playing cue, and with the eight ball being on the spot, it really just spreads well if you hit that second ball back. And I just have been, with the rack being closer, I've been jumping my cue ball off a lot with my break cue. So kind of just put it away, and it seemed to work well for me this week.
Yeah, we are down to the 15 seconds now, and we have been playing that for the last 3 minutes. Bergman, I think, will struggle more than Shane will with it. And he really wants to focus in on this first shot, and he's got it. That was a very, very important opener.
Great shot.
Very, very nice.
Can't tell from our angles if the 6 passes the 8, but either the 3 or the 4 should lead him to get the short side on that.
Yeah, I don't think it does, but like I say, you can get short side on it. You're absolutely right. Again, you're just going to see him go through his pre-shot routine. Very unique in his routine.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of those players that you see him set up the same way every time, right?
Mm-hmm. And the air stroker, yeah. That's something I've actually kind of, I've known Justin a number of years. Used to see him, shout out to my old pool room, Mo River Pub and Pool down the highway here a couple hours. He used to come down there and play quite a bit, and really like to just get a feel for the shot when you air stroke like that, and it kind of helps you keep the correct speed.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Not something that's routinely done, and he's tried to come down for, I think, he's got to take the 6 now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And perhaps play the 4 or same pocket.
Yeah, he got a little thin on it, so yeah, he probably wanted to just kind of bump it in for the side, but now he'll play to the corner, I think.
Still no time to think.
Great shot there. That was very creative. I did not even see that.
Yeah, he knew he could hold for the side pocket as well. And I think he's playing a little quicker than he's comfortable with.
Right.
You see him just like, oh no. Those beeps make it very intimidating out there. But I think he deserves a match.
It was a very good out under pressure there. I think the 15-second shot clock might have helped him.
That's absolutely right. And Nate, thank you so much for joining me in the booth with this one.
Right back in Kansas City, Missouri. This is the last match of the morning or afternoon session, however you want to look at it. Stephen White, joined by Joey A. Great voice in the box. Joey, how you doing?
Hey, doing great, Steve. Thanks for inviting me. I've been playing in the tournament, had a great time. Just got knocked out a little while ago by a young player, Timmy Bly. And Hill. I had a great time, though. I'm even thinking about going to Denver.
Well, these young players are they're all over the place down here, and they play incredible. And we got a great match here. Chris Melling, of course, and then local favorite Chase Stumfoll. It's really, really nice to see Chase have some success here, taking out Tyler Styer early in the morning, but he's got his hands full because Chris is an absolute monster. And Chris maybe not getting the start that he wanted here. He had a decent shot, and now he's got to take on a tougher one, but I think he'll be all right. Yeah.
You got a little trouble. Cross bank on the 11, maybe?
I think the 8 ball is too much in play.
Yeah.
It's a little risky at the very least.
Then all he's got left is a safety if there's one.
Yeah, there's an absolute flyer in the 14 ball, and I think that's what he's looking at, cutting the 14. Oh, no, he's going to go with the cross. I don't like this with the 8 ball there, but he's super precise.
What else does he have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did Chase a huge favor there, but then also hurt him a little bit.
Tied up
5
ball.
ball.
Yeah.
And Chase, a smart player, he automatically notices his trouble ball and says, how can I get this thing out? And that's a big question here. This is the shot here, the 4-6 combo.
Right.
The run, a rail.
Left, yeah, low right.
Yep.
Well, he might even be trying to run into that 14. No, he's doing the shot.
Oh, watch out, cue ball. He came out better than the scratch, but it's not ideal. He's got a long shot on the 1 ball, shape doesn't carry extremely simply to the next two balls.
If he can squeeze that 5 past the 12 ball, he might have a shot on the 1 either in the corner or the side pocket.
And that 5 is tight, but
How about the 4? Is he can make the 4 in the side, but
to the side
boy,
pocket.
those side pockets are tough.
Yeah, the first day we were here, the shootout, the felt was extremely slick, and the lack of friction made the pockets play pretty big, but the side pockets especially are really tightening up today. And it's
I saw that with Shane Thompson in that last match with Bergman.
What a nail biter that was.
Ooh, hill.
And I think that's one of the first hill matches we've seen on the stream, on the TV table.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's uncharacteristic mistake.
Yeah, and you notice what he did there. He stood up and then kind of as he was stroking through the ball, and that is a mistake that Chase doesn't usually make. Usually very good about holding his posture. Very important not to move when you're shooting the ball because it can change everything about the shot.
That's what happened to me. I had an easy run out against Timmy and flinched just a little bit.
I mean, sometimes it's those situations that we know what we did afterwards, but
right.
In the moment, it just kind of slips our mind.
Well, I think I was living in the future, thinking about the win, going to make the final 32, and just stoked about that, and should have stayed in the present, and I'd have been fine. I mean, a very serious professional.
Yeah, and Chris has a lot of humbleness, but he's also, when he knows he's correct, he knows he's correct.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because when you play at his level, you deserve that respect in that manner. Chase here, he got a break where he made a ball, but man, it's really nasty. I'm not sure what my preference would be here.
Looks like he's going to try stripes. 12 ball's a little bit of trouble. Maybe we'll see if he goes after it right now. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, and he needed to because he has other problem balls down here that he needs to address as well. And he's going to get the opportunity here because I think he's got just enough angle to come off the rail, give himself a slight angle on the 12, and run into the 11-10. Oh, he went for the gold.
The dreaded side pocket.
And all he got was coal. Ball in hand for Chris Melling is not something that you want to give up.
Well, how is Chris going to possibly get out of this 3, 5, 6 all tied up?
Well, Joey, there's this thing called YouTube that I have browsed around quite a bit. And let me tell you, you ever want to see Chris Melling get out of some stuff, just type his name into that bar.
I like the one with he's playing 8-ball, and the 8-ball doesn't have a pocket that can go in, and his opponent's balls are spread all across the table, and he shoots a 4-railer. It goes right in between a set of balls and makes the 8-ball just phenomenal.
Well, I'll tell you how he's going to get out of this one. He's going to play a very strong safety and attempt to get ball in hand here. This is a tough shot no matter who you are kicking at this ball.
Ooh, it made a good hit. Look at that.
What a shot by Chase Stumfoll. Wow.
Now, do you shoot the 11 into the 7 and try and move the cue ball down table? No, he's got to get out. How's he going to do that? Going to try and slow up the game a little bit there. Maybe bank the 6. I don't see this as. Let's see what happens. Looks okay. He's got to be careful about kicking soft here in case he runs, gives him a shot on that 7 ball. Almost like that. Now what's he going to do?
Yeah, this is tough. Just
Make the 11 ball?
does the
No, make the 10. Same thing. Hide.
yeah, and he can just play kind of a stun shot on this, and I think wedge up against the 5, and the 3 ball should just stay there. Yeah, just
Yep.
like that. And this is gonna be interesting. I think he can actually 2-rail this, just for the touch.
Oh,
Kind of a Z shot, and just touch it. He can't make it anywhere. But at this point, you just don't want to give up ball in hand to Chris Melling. It cost him in the last rack, and he doesn't want to do it again here. Needs to be mindful of the speed.
hit it about as good as anyone ever hit it.
Well, and that right there, because he wedged him up against the 11. There you see Chris giving the tap,
Right.
showing appreciation for a good shot. But I feel like this is just a situation where he's going to have to do it again.
Yep.
I think Chris is going to break up the 6 ball and send the cue ball back behind the 4.
Uh-oh. Made a ball.
Yeah, not sure if he was really trying that. Maybe he saw it was close to dead, but regardless, he's got a shot now, and had he missed it, Chase would have been in more trouble again. So
He might try and get shape on this 6 ball and bump that 7 at the same time.
and Chris having a little laugh with Chase there, probably implying that he had no intention of making that combination, but he's going to handle it well here. I don't see any big issues. I think his breakout ball, okay, maybe he didn't want to chance the breakout, so he's going to let Chase kick at the 11 again. With ball in hand, I think Chris is a favorite to break this ball out, but he's not going to get ball in hand. Chase's kicking ability is fantastic.
Chris doesn't want to make anything right now. Just keep hiding and try and get that cue ball in hand so he can get that 7 loose.
Yeah, and I think he wanted to take the angle away for the 1-reel kick shot, and that's what he did. So now Chase is really going to have to go at an awkward angle. I actually like playing up here to the side, the left side rail, and trying to come down like that. But it's such a tough angle. You have to hit just before the side pocket on the left-hand rail. Similar to that,
Yep.
but just didn't get the angle. And I think Chase actually played it better because you have to go below the side rail, or the side pocket. And here comes the breakout.
Chris pointing to where he wants to hit the 11 ball. Move the 7 forward.
And from here, it's the Chris Melling show. What he's been doing great all weekend long is just hitting the ball, putting it in the pocket, rinse and repeat.
Long bridge. Incredible speed control.
Yeah, Chris's smoothness on hitting the cue ball
Came up a little short that time.
is something to be wowed by. He really strokes the ball very well. He did have a tougher shot, but
Didn't hit it hard. Didn't you know? It didn't look like he was straining to make it. You know, just
took it as it
another
was.
shot, yeah.
Took it as it was, and so 2 of the 4 are set. Joe and Brandon will play each other for a spot in the finals. And
Uh-oh. Oh, look at that.
wow.
You seldom see a cue ball hang up in the pocket like that on these valley tables, especially the corner pockets.
Yeah, it's not very often, but, what a bracket we have, Joey. So when you think about the names that were in this, you've got Tyler Styer, you've got Mike Banks Jr., some of these names that we know a little bit more, Shane Thompson and Jordan Shepard, who we've all learned a lot about this weekend.
Yep.
None of those guys in.
Shane Thompson just barely he got beat by Justin Bergman. He played great.
That was the match of the tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolute match of the tournament. Justin and
Heartbreaker for Shane, but somebody's got to win.
Yeah. There's always one loser, and you never want it to be you, but sometimes you don't have much of a choice. He really only made one mistake in that match. It was just a missed ball early. I think the score was 3-2 or something like that, and one mistake cost him the match against the Iceberg.
Chase coming with it.
And I think the inevitable matchup that we all want to see is Justin Bergman and
Magician.
the Chris Melling, but Chase wants to put an end to that.
Yep.
And I'm sure Timmy Bly would love to steal Justin Bergman's place in the semifinals. Sometimes it's the matches that we don't know a whole lot about that end up being the best.
That's right.
So Timmy Bly, Joe Prince, Brandon McCoy, all names that I'm unfamiliar with until this weekend. Now I know who they are. Their stock has risen.
Dell Sims calls Prince. Oh, that's my princess. They're buddies.
Joe Prince is he's a character. He's a character. We have a lot of characters in the United States, and most of the guys that have come over have been a little quieter, a little shyer. They're just enjoying the experience.
This is unique about international 8-ball rules, and that is that they're always racked. They're pattern racked every time the same way. And, you got to get used to it. It takes a few tries, but you get familiar with that. They call it the little
Check mark.
Check mark.
Check mark is what I like to call it.
Yeah.
And that's another thing I like about this format is they're trying to do everything they can to take manipulation away.
Yeah.
So being the 8-ball on the spot and at least in the arena, using the Ultimate Pool USA Smart Rack with a referee racking, a lot of people have a bad taste about referee racking, and I'll be the first one to tell you it's not 100% efficient all the time. But these referees really do try to make sure that everything is touching, that the racks are exactly the same every time for both players. Darren and Scott here both doing a great job.
I've used a smart rack. A friend of mine has one, and we practice regularly, and it's a great rack. I think before, if they have any more left, I'm going to pick one up while I'm here.
Yeah, I got one as soon as they went on pre-order from Ozone Billiards.
Oh, I remember that.
That's where you can get those, is Ozone Billiards, if they don't have any here, Joey. But I picked one up as soon as they were available, and it was very useful. Look at this, Chris Melling. Well,
Chris wasn't sweating it.
It could have been a little dirty, but Chase Stumfoll's dream run at the Kansas City Open has come to an end, not without his accomplishments, and that just means that Chris Melling is moving on into the Final Four.
We are here for the evening session. It's the final session of the night. We're going to see 5 great matches, but we're starting with a semifinal from the Kansas City Open right here. This is Joe Prince and Brandon McCoy, and it's going to be a phenomenal match. Stephen Wyatt and Adam Williams on commentary here with you. Adam, how's it going?
Good, thank you for having me. It's definitely a new experience for me being in the booth, but I'm excited to have you with me, mate.
Yeah, man, it'll all be great here because we have a good match on our hands. Joe, obviously you know him.
Yeah, he did really well. He's won a couple of UK events, and he's actually qualified for the UK Open as well. So, and he's had some real tough matches. It's been a tough field.
Yeah, and Joe, from what I was understanding out there is, I don't know all the details, but I believe he won a Challenger Series in the UK. So next, I guess the next session, he will be on the pro side of things.
Yeah, so he's just qualified for the Pro Tour, and say that'll start within the next couple of months. So big moves for him. He's in form.
Yeah, and Joe, I like Joe. Joe's a little loud. He's a little boisterous.
Yeah,
he has a lot of fun.
He's definitely a unique character, definitely.
Yeah. And on the other side of things, I wish I had more information on this gentleman because he's clearly played very well to get here. Mr. Brandon McCoy, I just don't know enough about him, and to be honest, he's kind of snuck through the bracket.
Yeah, I say he's a silent assassin. He's came through all the way, and it'd be interesting as well to see. This is the first time both of them on the TV table as well. So it'd be interesting how they adjust.
Yeah, and Joe, no stranger to the arena and the lights and the feel of this event. Again, we don't know if Brandon's ever been in this situation, so this is going to be a learning experience for us and him if he hasn't. And Joe has really taken a liking to the Ultimate Pool USA format with, our standard American tables and standard American balls. I talked to him before, and he's like I said, he's boisterous. He played it off like he was just gonna win the event, and he knows it. But in the side, he was like, I didn't really know how I was gonna do out here. I just don't know enough about the table differences. But he's clearly accustomed to them now. He's played well. This is his first time on the TV table, but not his first time in an ultimate pool arena.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how he adapts, but he might be right the way he's going. He might be in the final. So.
Yeah, well, one of these guys is going to be in the final, that's for sure. And why not Joe Prince? Why not Brandon McCoy? Joe here stretching a little bit, and being a 7-foot table, you generally don't have to worry about the stretch too much, but Joe, I don't know, probably around 5'5", 5'7".
Yeah, he's definitely not the tallest. So,
so makes it a little bit tougher, but really holding his own here in this opening rack. Played a nice safety and has an opportunity to take down rack number 1.
Looks like it's going to be a clean out. He'll probably just roll it through and play the black straight in the middle. That shows you what I know, Stephen, right?
Well, and I think that's all personal preference. I maybe would have rolled up to the side pocket, but I also know that Joe has heard but not played on these tables, and he's heard that the side pockets are playing very tight.
Yeah, so obviously you probably noticed we're popping up all over the place in terms of different leagues. But basically our 8-ball format is the same format as a shootout. It's going to be a 30-minute match time with a 30-second shot clock. Obviously the only difference with the amateurs versus the the pro side and the opens is it will be handicapped based on your on your up score and what it be.
So let me ask you this: you say a 30-minute match time, or what how do the races work? Or are there no races? It's just 30 minutes?
Yeah, so it starts with a minus handicap. So let's say you are a 400 up score and I'm a 500. You would be on, I'd be on -2, and we'd play for that full 30 minutes and get as many games as possible as we can in. So if you are on the -2, you win your 2 games. You've still got then, let's say it takes you 5 minutes to win the 2 games. You've still got another 25 minutes to win as many games as possible. So it's a fast-acting format. It's super quick, super exciting. similar to the shootout.
Wow. So just so I can make sure I got this all covered. So with the handicap system, if you start if you're a better player than I am, and you do start at that -2, so when the match starts, the score at that point is -2 to 0.
Correct, yeah.
So this is why they call it the rundown system, because the better player has to run down the lesser skilled player. But in a sense, that's really tough. The lesser skilled player has a great chance to win in 30 minutes.
Yeah, and that's kind of the idea. You know, it puts the pressure on the good player in terms of they have to break well, they have to run out. You know, and if that lesser skill level player can manage to nick a game, or they play safe, or kind of slow the game down a little bit as well, every ball they make kind of eats up the time. So it always keeps that lower skill level player involved in the game as well, which is great.
So, I mean, it's designed to be extremely competitive no matter what your skill level is.
Correct, yeah. It's good for it's good for the top players, and also with the lower skill level players, it keeps them in the game, which is great.
Well, that's a really incredible system. Like I said, I know a little bit about it, but I wasn't 100% sure. But let's talk about what I just said there, that number. I just said 100. I saw some stuff, and I just want to make sure I have a good understanding of this. So first place prize for the team that wins the grand final event in October 2025 gets $100,000. Now, I know the amount. I'm very well aware of the amount. But let me just reiterate, $100,000 cash.
Cash, correct. We don't have any prizes. It's all just straight cash. Yep. Obviously, I know there's a couple. Sometimes people offer prizes, and it includes gift cards and bags, but it's just straight cash.
So if I put a team together and I play Ultimate Pool League and I win my city series, my city championships, and I get a ride out to the grand finals, and that's, you know, these teams are getting basically all expenses paid, or a travel package put together for them.
Yeah, so each team will get $3,500 just to travel to the event, and then obviously with the payouts, we've announced our first payout at first place being $100,000, and then within a couple of weeks you guys will know the full breakdown of the full payouts as well.
Wow, so I can put that team together, I can go out there on the league's dime, and then I can carry my duffel bag with me, and if my team snaps this off, I can open that bad boy up, and you guys are going to put $100,000 cash in there.
Yeah, it's going to be a scary time, but it's going to be exciting.
Well, that's really incredible, Adam. The $100,000 prize pool, subject to 1,500 teams, is what it says on the flyer. Let me tell you, it's not going to take a whole lot to get 1,500 teams. We have leagues forming all over the place, from Florida to Philadelphia to Las Vegas to South Texas and everywhere in between. We have multiple players who are associated with these leagues. Joey Gray has a league in Oklahoma City. Sophia Mast, I believe it's her dad, has
down to working together. They've already got one in Florida going.
That's awesome. And then there's more to come too. I know you've been working on some other players, getting into some other areas. So this is something that a lot of the pros or the well-known players are getting behind. I do just want to pause for just a second. Brandon McCoy made a very good out there against Joe Prince. He needs this break to give himself an opportunity.
Looks like he's gone dry again. Oh, he's hit it well as well.
You know, and the story here is simply that every opportunity possible has gone to Joe.
Yeah, and Joe has
Brandon,
took every single opportunity as well.
And Brandon has not had nearly as many opportunities, having no success on his break. And this is, I'll tell you what, for the first time you're seeing Joe Prince on this TV table, he is really making a name for himself here.
Yeah, as I said, he's been desperate to get on, and I think we can tell why.
Yeah, well, at this point, he deserves it for the way he's playing. Almost a flawless, almost a flawless event so far for Joe, at least as far as this match goes.
Yeah, and I believe in the earlier rounds as well, he played Shane Thompson as well, and that went heel, and he managed to pull through that as well. So he's
yeah, he sent Shane to the loser side on that, huh? So yeah, I mean, this is an up-and-coming player that, once again, he was on what you would consider the semi-pro side of Ultimate Pool, and was able to play well enough to advance to the more pro side of it. So
yeah, and that Challenger Tour is super competitive.
Yeah,
it's brutal. So if you come through that, you definitely worth a spot in the pro side.
Well, and he's proving why he deserves a spot in that pro tour over in the UK. By the way, he's playing here in the USA, and he's proving why we may see him as a mainstay name on the Ultimate Pool USA Tour, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, and he definitely wants to come to the next one already. As I said, he's been trying to pull information out of you as much as possible, so he must be eager to get back already. So that's great.
Yeah. Well, the good news is he can book his plane ticket as soon as he arrives back in London, because he's going to have some extra spending cash one way or the other.
Yeah, and
he may have a whole lot more if he can finish these next 3 balls.
And another great out from Joe. As I said, no mistakes, and he's just going about his business.
Yeah, what a great showing here for Joe. Wow. I mean, words can't really explain how well he played. Of course, hats off to Brendan McCoy. Final 4, he simply didn't get too many opportunities. Shane Thompson, the safe cracker. How's it going, Shane?
How you doing, Stephen? You all right, mate?
Yeah, I'm wonderful. And a big break here by Melling. Well, and there's a pretty solid break here. And Shane, I know you had it really probably the match of the tournament against Justin Bergman. One very, very small mistake, and it was what it took for Bergman to get the win over you, and that's was a tough match. You played really, really well.
Yeah, I think out of the lineup, it was obviously Chris and Justin who were the people to avoid, and I got Justin. So, but yeah, it was a good game. I felt alright. Obviously, I missed a chance at 3-2. Which obviously made the difference in the end, but yeah, I was happy the way I played.
Yeah.
And I'll be back next time.
Yeah, well, and as soon as we figure out where that destination is and when we get that all planned, I'm sure we'll be setting up flight tickets for you, because I know you enjoyed the events out here.
Yeah, definitely be back.
So, onto the table. This is probably, obviously, if you had won the match, you and Chris, definitely match of the tournament. This is another one, match of the tournament. It's Justin Bergman, Chris Melling. Obviously, Justin playing really well. We saw him maybe not play as good the first couple days.
Yep.
I think he's really found his gear. And then, Chris is Chris. So I think we're in for a good match.
Yeah, and they obviously they've both played a lot of matches on this table as well, so they're both used to it.
Yeah. Being under the lights, it seems like Justin maybe still isn't too fond of the just having the huge crowd. He likes a more intimate setting.
Okay.
He likes to be at the table with maybe a couple railbirds or whatever. But this is definitely a big arena feel. There's a lot of room in this arena, and there's a lot of people watching.
Yeah, it's been a good crowd this week, to be fair.
Yeah, the Kansas City area has treated us very, very well, and it did not treat Chris well on that roll right up against the one ball.
And himself there.
Yeah, this isn't very well.
I should get a commission for Chris's prize money. He's using one of my shafts.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he left his. He thought he had an 11.8 in his bag, and he never had one, so I lent him mine.
Oh.
Got worth 20% on it.
Well, if that's worth 20%, Jordan Shepard won the shootout with my shaft, so I think we're both entitled to 20%.
20%.
Yeah. And he gets a good hit here, but you can't leave 5 balls on the table for Justin Bergman, especially when they're not touching anything. I feel like he's out here, and he may steal this rack from Chris. And Chris is our current running champion.
Yep.
He won the Louisiana Open back in April. So looking to, in a sense, defend his title on our run across America. And Justin wants to take that away from him. I got a chance to get Justin in the box yesterday. He was quite fond of the format and the rules, and really enjoys it, and may be a mainstay in the tournament. I know you'd like to get a chance to get that one back on him, so maybe another matchup in the future would be real fun to watch between you guys.
Yeah, of course. It's always nice to obviously play the best players in the country, because obviously you kind of see where your game's at and where you need to improve or whatever. So yeah, I'll have another crack at him, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I know for a fact that he knows where that match stood, and he knows that he may have got away with one. So pulling you in a bracket may not be on the top of Justin Bergman's favorite things to do. If there's anybody I picked, if she'd have played in the Open, I'd have probably picked her to be in the last 32 in the Open as well. She plays incredibly consistent. Maybe she hasn't hit the top of her game when it comes to position play and potting the ball.
Yeah.
But overall consistency, she has a very high level.
Okay.
So it'll be great to watch her in the juniors, and then obviously with an opportunity to play in the finals as well.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big one.
I was talking to Sam Henderson this morning, because I asked him why he wasn't playing in the juniors, and he just said he doesn't feel comfortable playing any junior event. I'm not sure if that's obviously because he'd be a big favourite, or whether that's just, well, I don't know really, but yeah, he said he doesn't feel comfortable playing junior events, which is...
Yeah, I'm really not sure on that one. It could be kind of a maturity thing. I think maybe he feels like he's played in a lot of the junior events, and he's been there for a while, and I think it might have something to do with really just wanting to be considered not a threat in the junior division, but a threat.
Yeah.
Period.
No, I get it.
And I may be way off on that, but Sam's a great player, and he's very mature.
Yeah.
In the game as a person.
I could see that when I was talking to him. Just talking to him, you can see that. I just think that if you're in that age category and you're here, you may as well play.
Yeah.
He's obviously got his reasons for it, so.
Yeah, and Sophia did not play in the Open, which I like I said, she usually runs very consistent, so would have had an opportunity there, but chose not to play, and that's okay. Jordan Helfrey, on the other hand, played in all 3 events.
Yep.
She's fearless. I tell you, at 12 years old, she's fearless on the table.
Yeah, I've not seen her play.
She's a little shy, a little hard to get her to crack open and talk, but once she gets comfortable, she really is a really cool kid.
Or the highway, however you want to say it. To the airport.
Oh yeah, and by the time he got here, I think he may have dipped into some local action. Yep. But he had been on the plane for around 24 hours, or at least awake 24 hours.
It was about 23 hours travel in total. Obviously, we were waiting around and whatnot. But yeah, as soon as we got here, one of the local lads wanted a piece of the UK lads. So I certainly won't play straight off the plane, but the magician.
Yeah, Chris has no fear.
No. We all got involved, but I kept the queue away.
Well, and you could tell Chris was tired watching him there, but he's not tired here. The jet lag is not affecting him near as much as it was on that very first night he was here.
Yeah, I needed at least 24 hours.
just really needs to get a win here on this rack because it's a big swing going 5-1 versus 2-4.
Oh, 100%.
And when you're in that range of about that 7th rack is when the swing is very important.
That's huge, yeah. I think he went the wrong way there. He's still good, but I think I might have played the 9, then the 10. Just does what he wants.
Yeah, that's a great run there. Well, here we go. Break from Chris. Needs the 7-ball to fall. Nothing. This is painful for Chris. His break is failing him when he needed it the most. And it looks like everything's kind of open. Obviously, once the 5-ball goes down, the 4-ball really has an easy play. And really one of the first mistakes I've seen Bergman make with positional play is this shot here. He's not wanting to really cut the 6 on the side here, but unfortunately the 1-ball hurt him a little bit. He came out of it okay. That's the one thing I can say about Justin is that he is very good at getting back in line.
Needs to find the gap now for the 5. Yeah, he's there. It's a good shot.
Yeah, and, the 4 is extremely tight to that pocket. The 5-ball is definitely the one he wants to play. But he has the shot on the 5. He can squeeze right in. He may choose to shoot the 4.
He could even shoot the 1 in the side.
Yeah, I like taking the 5 there. And he's got a play for the 4. And I liking him to bump the 15 out.
No, I think he'll draw to the 9.
You think, Willie?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good play.
As long as he gets straight or just off straight here, he's fine. He can play a 1 in the side.
Yeah, 1 in the left side pocket. And really from there, it's just whatever he wants to do to get to the 8-ball. He can stop it. He can draw down table just a little bit, depending on the angle. I think he's managed perfect on it. If he wants to get a better shot, he can, obviously, but doesn't have to. That's a great shot there. And Justin Bergman looking to go to the hill against Chris Melling. Tell you what, he's playing very well, and Chris's break simply isn't working at the moment. And Amy came over, had a great match with Sam Henderson on our TV table. And unfortunately, we won't see her on the TV table again. But I feel like we will see her in the Ultimate Pool USA Arena again.
Yeah,
I think she enjoyed her time here.
Yeah, I think she has. Her friend that was with her, Ashley.
Yeah, Ashley
Dinsmore.
Dinsmore, yeah.
She came up to me earlier on asking me if I got any cues for sale. So I
They
think
they want to buy some American cues.
I think so.
You know, a funny story about Ashley. She was, I believe, at the airport, and this is a secondhand story, so if I get it wrong, don't judge me. She was at the airport. I think she went to a restaurant, maybe an Irish restaurant, because she is from Ireland.
Yep.
And she was gifted a Joss cue.
She went to a pool club.
Oh, was it a
in
pool
Chicago?
club?
Yeah. And
Okay.
and the guy give her a cue because he was Irish. He obviously noticed her accent, asked her what she was doing here, blah blah blah. She told him she's here for a pool event, asked her what cue she's using. She showed him the cues, and obviously they weren't very good. So he gifted her a brand new Joss cue.
Yeah, pretty nice cue too.
It was worth quite a bit of money as well. It still had the price tag on. So
yeah,
I was buzzing with that one.
Yeah, that's such a cool story there. And Ashley, it's a shame we didn't get to see her play because she can play quite well as well.
She's very good. Yeah.
She's part of the Northern Ireland women's team, and yeah, she plays very, very well and super nice.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, very nice. Well, I think we could be looking at a winner here, Stephen.
You think so? That
yeah, I think he'll just draw on the 4, 7 in the side. Oh, hang on.
Oh, and he moved the 10 into the line of the 8 ball. However, look, I like this shot. It's not one that he's going to want to play, but I like just dragging this cue ball 2 rails, kind of back to the center of the table on this end, and just banking the 8 ball. And the reason I like the bank is because if he banks the 8 ball towards the side pocket, he can send his cue ball down, and that's exactly what he's going to. Well, he may have rolled a little far, and he's not happy with how far he rolled because he did fancy the bank because he wanted to leave the cue ball down here on the bottom rail, make it tough for Chris. But he's going to shoot it all the way up in the top corner. This is a huge shot here on a tight pocket with fast felt. It's slick. Can Justin Bergman take down Chris Melling, the magician?
Overcut.
It's wide. And you can physically hear the crowd react to that.
Yep.
I think the crowd is behind the American in this particular instance. And now, as Chris Melling with that really nasty cluster up top, what is your plan? You going to go for the breakout, or are you going to play a little safe?
I think if I know Chris, he's going to go. As long as he can get, like a half ball shot on the 12, he can break him out.
Well, and this is what he's looking
yeah,
for.
That's perfect.
Well, guess where we're going, Shane? Just a few balls away. We have a shot at going hill.
The wand could have worked.
The wand could have indeed worked.
And 20%'s getting larger.
Look at the time on this. 18 minutes left. That's a lot of time. They're not even going to see the 15-second shot clock.
Tell you what, Stephen, my 20%'s getting larger.
Well, by proxy, now that I know about it, I'm going to need 2% of that.
The only thing he's done to it is put some nasty chalk on my tip.
Tin ball.
No.
Oh, no.
Friends.
But it's kind of a nasty rack, okay?
I don't think it is. I think if the 15 goes, the 15 comes down to the bottom right. Yeah, I think
that's what he's looking at already.
I think he's good here.
Yeah, the 9 ball is going to be a little tricky just because you can't get a great angle on it, but it's not a hard shot. The only mistake you may see is a positional one.
Well, he has kind of butchered a couple of shots in the last couple of racks. So
that's not good.
It's not good.
That little bump on the 10 now makes the 12 a little tougher, and currently the 10 is unplayable. He's going to have to move the 12 first.
I think he can go 12, 15. Oh, wow.
And he's absolutely clipped that ball. He had no intention of touching the 10. He was only trying to shoot the 12 ball.
Chris can't play the 2. That's the only trouble. So he might have to play the 4 and then play the 2 long.
Well, and Chris is going to be delighted to have an opportunity at the table because, as we were discussing, the rack looked a little odd, but then when you really took a shot at it.
He's going 1 first and opening him up.
Oh, that's
great
a
shot.
big shot.
That's a great shot.
And that will be the shot of the match there to open it up if he can get out here.
The 6 looks quite tight, but I think actually he doesn't have to play the 6.
When Chris is so good at playing it simple, but he didn't get the shape he wanted there, I don't think.
That's a good shot.
Did he get to the 7?
Yeah, he's on 7. Yeah.
Okay. It looks a little funny at
Yeah,
this
no.
camera angle.
No, he's good. 7, 3, 5, 2, 6.
One Justin, you can kind of see him in the background there. He's a little lax. He's kind of got his arms up because I think he knows that barring anything crazy happening, I think he knows his run at the Kansas City Open is over here.
It should be.
And the winner of this taking on Joe Prince in the finals. And Joe with a demolishing match with his opponent. Chris and Justin both having to work very hard for theirs. But I think it's set in stone. The 8-ball just needs to drop, and we're going to have our final set. It is Joe Prince and Chris Melling in the finals of the Kansas City Open. What a tournament for Justin Bergman. He played so well, but in the end, the Magician is moving on to the finals.
But more than just great to see a junior final, great to see these two in a junior final. Two super, super talented youngsters. This is Sophia Mast, all 16 years of it. And you better get used to seeing Sophia. Not only is she one of the best young players anywhere in the world, she's also in the next final. She's not just ran to the final of the juniors, she's ran to the final of the Women's Open as well. So we will see her in back-to-back matches on Championship Sunday. It's some achievement. Her opponent here in the junior final is young Caden Herbach, and a man who knows plenty about him is Nate Kane, who joins me on the commentary for this one. He's promised, though, that he's not going to be too much of a homer. But I tell you what, though, Nate, it must be a real burst to see Kane in this final on this stage.
Yeah, I'm just so excited for him. I mean, he works so hard at his game. I believe I texted him the other night. He was helping me with something in the morning, and I got a little late just running the event, and it was about 2:30 in the morning. I said, Caden, remember, we're going to be here at 8:30. Oh, I'm up hitting balls. I'll be there on time. Don't worry about it. So he practices tirelessly. He really works hard on his game, and I'm just so excited to see him in this final.
Oh, the innocence of youth, eh? And the energy of youth.
Yes, exactly.
I love the little route he's picked for himself here. This is now dot to dot. He's picked up a great pattern. We talked about in the intro to this final that Caden has played on this table this weekend. He did take a bit of a tough loss to Tyler Styer, but you know, he's playing a world-class opponent in conditions that is very, very familiar. He entered Tyler's world. Caden wants this to become his world too, but you know, sometimes you've got to fall off the bike a few times before you start flying around it.
Correct. And then I think Caden might have had a little call with his buddy Chase Stumfoll there, who you know, got a little retribution against Tyler later on in the tournament here. So, and like I said, I kind of mentioned on one of Chase's earlier matches, but here a couple years ago in the junior national finals, it was actually Chase versus Caden. So, and Chase came out, but it was a very, very close final, and we were excited. It was about 4 hours away from us here in Kansas City. I woke up and drove there that morning to watch it, and so he's been really, that actually kind of motivated him in that loss, and he really, really started working super hard on his game after that, and here we are.
The first rack of the junior final is going to go the way of young Caden Herbach. Race to 6 in the juniors.
Yeah, and that's whenever you're really seeing the tough conditions of this table, I think. It's like kind of those what I call 50-50 balls that don't have an obvious pocket. You've got to kind of juice it up with a lot of English, draw it out of there, and if you're not pure in the center of these pockets, they are spitting them out. I mean, that one, I think you know, don't know if any table would have that one, but still, it's just, you have to be almost perfect on it.
Great break from Sophia. She's not got a brilliant starting ball here, but solids really look good if she can nail maybe the 3. I think that's going to be the choice. Yeah, that'll do.
Would have liked to have fell down on the 4 on that to make this a little bit simpler.
Oh, would have loved to have fallen on the 4 there, yeah. Just needed a couple of extra inches and she'd have been perfect on the 4 ball. But she's at the table and it's still a presentable chance here.
Absolutely. 7 ball did not get her that time.
Oh, how about
Fired that one in. That was a very confident stroke.
Yeah, how about that for a bit of cueing? You know, when you've just missed a very, very similar shot, that's a good sign for Sophia Mass supporters that she absolutely nails the next one.
Absolutely.
Looking, I believe. Oh, that's come up a little tricky. Wanted to land on the 6, I think.
Yeah, I don't think you win. I mean, you definitely can do it, going between the 13 and 14. Getting on the 8 if you're using the 6 as your last ball, but probably not the most ideal one. It looks like that might be what she has to do now. Just roll this forward slightly for the 5, and then...
This is tricky.
Yeah, she didn't love it. As body language there definitely gave a little shake of the head, but
That's a really well controlled shot.
great shot, good angle to do exactly what she needs to get on that 8.
Potted it as thick in the pocket as she dared, as slow as she dared to hold on this 6. And that is just the extra juice that you get on this table.
Thought she might have overcooked it and hooked herself there, but she came up with a makeable shot, even though not the most comfortable of cueing, but
Oh, it's a brilliant bit of potting that. That was not easy. You feel like there's very little pressure on him. But if Sophia can get something going here, maybe at 5-4, that pressure changes entirely.
absolutely.
Didn't get loads of action on that break. These are all pretty congested. But in a weird way, they've not broken too badly.
Yeah. So this ball goes off goes past the 8 there and started out, and made the 8 a little tougher here. She's probably gonna try something to navigate to get on the right side of that 13 up table, and so but you probably want to leave the 9 or the 14 to get on the 8 somehow in the side pocket maybe. That will open it up for another corner there. It was a good shot.
Yeah, well, the 8 does go to the bottom right. I think it slides past the 6. It's tight. If it doesn't, it does go to the left side pocket.
Yeah, I think she definitely opened up her possibilities by moving that 3 there.
And I love that shot to move the 14 as well. She's got an angle now to land nicely on the 13.
Mm-hmm.
She can go 13-15. Or so, my apologies, 14-13, 10-15. I think she can land on the 8 ball. She's taking the 15 now. She's got the angle to go into the 8. That's the decision. Oh, she's tucking up. She's playing safe. Well, it's brave. She's executed it very, very well, mind. It's a surprising choice of shot. It's a very brave choice of shot, knowing that you may not get back to the table if Caden pulls out a finish here. But even that choice of shot there is impressive to me. It's very brave, but she's executed it, I think, quite well. And I think you take this result.
Yes, you got has the 14 left there, and get started. Yeah, that was a really good shot by her.
Yeah, how many players have we seen, once they dig themselves into trouble, they continue to dig and try and dig up, and it never ever works.
I always use a poker term when I'm describing that. I say, well, I guess we've got pot committed now. We got to try to figure something out. Either that, or you've kind of picked off all your soldiers in the fight. So
once bounce, gets one, and she judged that to absolute perfection, because she can come underneath the 13 if she wants to here, because it's available south of the table. She's just having a look to see if it's available past the 2. That's going to be the choice.
yeah, she probably would prefer to have a full pocket here, because she's going to have to put a little something on this ball to get clear of that 5.
Yeah, it was tight.
Yeah, and like I said, having to really hit that ball with some pace to get out there for the 10.
Yeah, we saw a beautiful camera angle there that really showed that there was only really half a pocket there for Sophia Mast. That may be her last shot in this final. Caden Herbeck, it's hold yourself together time.
Can't really tell from my angle over here. Does that 5 slide past the 10, or will he need to play that up table?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah, he's looking up table now.
I think you have to, yeah. I must say, for a junior final, the level of this matchup has been absolutely incredible. Now then, Sophia Mast is clinging to the lifeboat of that 10 ball.
Yeah, that was a clever shot to move it, but just didn't quite get out of the way like he wanted it to.
Oh, what a good shot that is. Oh, he's a little unlucky. I think he's more than a little. I think he's extremely unlucky with how that's finished.
I'm not sure, though. It looked like the pace of that cue ball, he might have got a little lucky not to scratch, because I think that 2 ball kicked it out. It looked like he was going all the way back to that corner pocket.
15-second shot clock has now come into proceedings as well. Can he float that in? He's looking just to block the pocket, I think. He's not got it. Well, or has he?
Yeah, I can't tell. Is it on it? It's tough.
Yeah, that's tight. I think it must go. Yeah, Sophia's not doing anything with it now. Well, how do you like that for position?
That was perfect. That was an absolutely perfect shot.
I should say. Well, this is a touchy one.
Yeah, it didn't go the whole time. Yeah, that was... Just didn't have a great angle for us to be able to tell, but yeah, it looks like the way she's played that, it definitely was froze to it.
I'll tell you what, she just had a little bit more on that shot, and that's a big ask, because she's played a full table-length topspin run through, but the line was perfect.
Great shot there.
Oh, Caden could sneak it in. Wants it to pull up. He's not snookered on both balls, is he? There's no way.
I think he is, looking at his reaction there.
Oh, that's incredible.
Wow. Might be able to play a little spin. Oh, nope, he's got a kick.
Well, it's a shame in many ways that we're dealing with a couple of 16-year-olds here that have been put through the mill a little bit, but goodness me, the drama of this final has been amazing to watch. It looks like Caden's still just about managing to enjoy it.
And I think that outside of maybe one other finish there with the pros, I believe the junior final was our most intense one in Louisiana as well. So
Sophia Mast stays alive. What a rack of 8-ball pull that was. Goodness me. Just because of the 15-second shot clock that's now in play, yeah. 7 minutes 39 left. A maximum of 2 possible frames still to be played. Caden here is hoping there's just one. Wants a ball, needs a ball. Doesn't get a ball. And Sophia Mast is not going away yet.
Not at all. Very impressed with her. And it's always kind of funny, those matches. I mean, of course, you always want to be the first one to get to the hill, but then all the pressure switches to you, and the person who's far behind just kind of gets the free roll and play their game, and it's kind of what we're seeing here.
Caden's not done a whole lot wrong. He's had a couple of real bad touches of fortune as well. Sophia is going to have to play safe, I think, here. Get this one right. I think that's pretty good. Don't know if Caden's got an attacking option here. Does the 7 sneak up top?
Yeah, I'll tell you what I kind of like on this one, even without doing the kind of like stop shot in that 6 and trying to freeze her to her 14, because kind of no matter which way she tickied off the 14, she was probably going to leave him a shot.
Issue with that from Caden. He's given Sophia a lot of options here. Sophia's daring him to go. And I don't think Caden's going to need much invitation.
I'd bet my 401k he takes on that 6 ball.
There it goes. I think Sophia half expected him to make that, but the bet she's made is that getting out is very difficult. It's a brave bet to make at this stage in a final. 3-ball is an issue.
I think he's found a great angle just to come around it and right in between those two and get for the 3 in the same pocket. Or hit it too, that works. A good shot.
Caden Herback is 5 balls away from the Kansas City Junior Open title. Judge that well. 4 balls away.
Yeah, doesn't mind being straight here. Just needs to draw back and clear that ball for the 3, and just don't let the nerves overdraw it. I know we all tend to overspin a little bit. Yeah. But maybe overdraw and found the right window here.
That's adrenaline for you there, isn't it? I bet the heart's pounding.
Mm-hmm.
He's still okay. Needs to be delicate with this one.
Great shot. Way to really control yourself there.
Terrific shot.
Yeah, and one of Caden's big strengths is potting the ball. He has eagle eyes, is what I say. So.
And he knows now. Psychs himself up, composes himself. And your Kansas City Junior Open champion is Caden Herback. What a performance.
Congrats, kiddo.
The young man who has made this club his own. Plenty of friends and family in the audience for him tonight. That will be a really, really special victory for him. Going to bring in Ultimate Pool President Jordan Chavouche to make the presentations for your Kansas City Junior Open champion. He's Caden Herback. What an incredibly special moment for Caden and for Sophia in that final as well. And do not fear, Sophia fans, she's back again in the Women's Open final. That is coming up next.
So, Lulu Kibaroglu is playing Sophia Mast in the Women's Open Championship, and Sophia here has a decent break and makes a ball. the 14 and 4 are what jump out to me immediately as an issue. So that's going to have to get dealt with. And I think Sophia's going to take to the stripes.
You're going to have to... what's the best option here for breaking out the difficult ball?
That's a really tough one for me because,
Does this follow through?
I don't think so. I think she's going to play it up in the corner. But I don't think, the angle was not good for that. And now she's in a little bit of a tough position because the 11 ball, I'm not sure she can see it. We'll get a good view here in just a second. And I can tell you that 11 ball, if she can hit it, she can only hit the far left edge. She's going to go rail first. Watch the scratch. And she didn't hit the ball. So Lulu here, the first time we've seen her, but she has had a stellar run. And the one person that would know, Miss Amy Beecham, you were down 4-1 against Lulu, and you came back on her, right?
Well, we actually played twice. So we played in the winners bracket. And that's when I was 4-1. Came back to win 6-4, and then I lost out in a decider in the quarterfinals.
So Hill on the second one, and she took it down, but you had won the one before that. And Lulu here, she shot kind of quick. Her timing was very quick.
Yeah. Apparently Lulu plays 9-ball, 10-ball, has moved over to the States to play pool. So, but I wonder if she's ever played on the 30 seconds before, because I think she's more of a methodical player. Was how it felt when I played her, so it'll be interesting to see how she can adjust.
Yeah, well, and we know Sophia is one. She's comfortable with the rules, and she's comfortable with the arena. She has an accomplishment list as long as my legs. So,
okay.
And also on top of that, she's been in this arena before. So what she may lack in firepower against Lulu, she may make up in the knowledge of the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you see Lulu really, I think this is a classic setting of 30 seconds is a daunting number, but it's a lot of time. It really is.
Yeah, when I first played on 30 seconds, I hated it, and I was down and I was hitting the ball straight away, a bit like that. But once you get used to it, you realise that for the majority of shots, it is absolutely plenty of time.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe for me in this game, having been new to this form of the game, take me a little bit longer, but I think once you're comfortable with the game, there's very few shots where you need longer than the 30. 15 is still ridiculous, but 30 is okay.
15 is definitely a little tough, and I think for the most part, when you talk about that 30-second shot clock, the shot itself is never going to take that long. Sometimes it's the deciphering what to do after that shot, how you're going to move the cue ball, and what the plan of action is in that situation. So we'll see how it goes. If she is playing a lot of rotation, she should be comfortable with the table. It's just a matter of all the other elements. And from what I understand, she's a really good player, maybe even a champion from Turkey. And so she's probably played in an arena or under some lights or maybe in front of some cameras.
Yeah. I think this will be, I have no knowledge of the game in Turkey, but certainly when we first started playing UP in the UK, the level of the arena and the setup was, even playing in arenas before this, was kind of like a next level experience. So. Yeah,
well, I've said it before and I'll say it again. The team behind the arena build is going to be Jeremy and Jim Hundley and Jeremy's brother as well. They hand-built this arena, and it looks incredible.
Yeah.
Everything is set up perfect, and what I love about this arena is how much space there is to move around.
Yeah. I'm also obsessed with the lights.
Yeah, everybody seems to like the lights. You guys don't have the perimeter lighting over there, huh?
Yeah, and just the table lights up above, for me. I love if you look from a distance and just the whole arena and the top light, and phenomenal.
Yeah, it's always fun. Well, Lulu here has a good chance at making this.
Does she? Does that go?
Yeah, she can see past the 8-ball here.
She's on the 8-ball, isn't she?
Oh, I'm sorry. She's on the 8-ball, and I believe it goes by. I'm trying to judge the line. I think she can slide it in. Oh.
Wow.
Oh. Well, if you're not familiar and you're just joining us, there are no called pockets after your initial call for stripes or solids. So a little bit of fortune there on the 8-ball, but it counts, and Lulu is going to take rack 1 in this ladies championship final. Just trying to figure out where the word plant would equal out to a combination, and I just don't understand.
Yeah. See, for us now, especially in these rules, a plant would be if you played your own colour set onto your own colour set. Whereas we would call a combination kind of like if you play.
Where you follow it in. Yeah. Well, we were shooting content out in the middle of the arena yesterday, and Simon Powner, our photographer, asked to set up a combination. So I set up a combination, and he goes, "Is that makeable?" And I said, "Yeah, why wouldn't it be?" And then he just took my word, and he had a couple players trying to make a very tough. Yeah. So we don't really have a word for the shot you're referring to. Yeah. We just call it following it in.
Okay. A bit of a touchy frame. Yeah, the break's not really come out.
No, there's a big stack here. Makes it a little tough. And this is a race to 7 with initially a 50-minute match clock. Currently, we are at the 34-minute mark, and Lulu has somewhat struggled with the 30-second shot clock. So getting down to that 10-minute mark where it drops to 15, I feel like would be very, very touchy for her.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough for anybody. And I think the tendency, until you get used to it, took me a fair few attempts on the 15 to not actually be probably playing within 5 seconds, because you initially don't want to hear the beeps. Where when you get a bit more used to it, you almost use the beeps as a guide.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother you anymore, but for a long time I was thinking, I don't want to cue hearing the beeps.
Yeah.
And that is another element. So you're almost giving yourself 7 or 8 seconds rather than 15 by the time you get around the table. And I sometimes like to do an extra walk around the tables, just habit.
Yeah, to slow yourself down to feel more comfortable, yeah?
Yeah, and you absolutely can't do that on the amount of times I've had to run back around the table.
Yeah, I like what you said there about using the beeps as kind of a guide, because the worst thing you could do to yourself is you get down on the shot and you're getting ready to cue, and that first beep comes in on your backswing. So when you hear the beep, you know how much time you have, and once again, 30 seconds is... It seems quick, but also when you're already down on the ball, oh no, what's going to happen here? But
I think this frame will take some working out now. I mean, the stripes, to me at least, by the 8-ball look difficult to deal with, unless you can get on the 9 and split them all open.
I think eventually the 15 ball will be what is used to maybe shoot in the side and crash in.
Yeah.
But anytime you have multiple balls, it makes the breakout very difficult.
Yeah.
She's going for the 15 here.
So I think, yeah, she's played, I think, maybe come a little bit too straight on the 9 to nudge in.
Yeah, it's going to make this very difficult. She's asking the ref a question. And I'm unsure as to what the question was, but it was answered, and she is shooting her shot.
I think she's potentially putting herself into a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, you can't run these balls out without having a breakout idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, using the beeps as the guide, I want I want to hear the beeps to let me know that I have 5 seconds, and then I can comfortably stroke through the ball. Unless, of course, I'm behind a rack and the time's really low.
Yeah.
Then I'm just sprinting around the table.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, here's a nice little situation here. So it's not a touching ball. So I think Sophia is going to just play up, just like this, and kind of block up everything. The question is, does the 13 go in the side? I don't think it does.
Did it help to do your little lean? Did it?
Look, that's a video game background. Let's not discuss that. Yeah, it does look a little low. It looks like it's going to just come under the point. There is a little bit of space in between the 9 and the 13, but she's going at it at a different angle. I do not know what she's going to do here. Just playing wanted to play a little bit of a safety. She wanted to end up on the top of the table.
Yeah. This is a good chance now, though, for Sophia, isn't it? It's just about position on the 3.
Yeah, so the 5 ball to the 2, and Steven's drawings here are terrible.
Yeah, that just helped me there to wasn't sure what the red was. That's a 3.
He dogged it on the 7 ball because the 7's brown. So it's a 7 ball down here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. No worries. We'll blame that one on
JMO, yeah.
On
Everything's
Steven.
generally JMO's fault. That's a very good shot.
Yeah, she played that well, and I think it really promoted her the ability to just draw back for the 8 ball.
Yeah.
Because I do believe 100% that the 8 ball will go in the bottom left-hand corner. And she called her extension because she doesn't want to hear the beeps. It's a smart move.
Yeah.
Slow down, ball. Okay, this isn't the end of the world here, because what I like here is kind of a slow bank.
Okay.
I think she can bank the 8 ball 1 rail back in the bottom left, and I think her cue ball is going to end up in a very nice spot.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Well, I called that one completely wrong. She just sliced the 8 ball in the corner. Crazy thing about it is she was supposed to play in Louisiana for our inaugural event.
Okay.
And she did not. And she broke that with pace, and she moved to the table very quickly.
Yeah.
I think now she understands. But is it too late? And I think it is at 3 minutes and 26 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, we have seen it in terms of very quick finishes, but very, very rare.
Yeah, and quickness can definitely cause mistakes. And see, things like that, she's trying to maybe hit the balls a little harder to move things around in an unnatural way. She doesn't really have a great shot here. Watch the 8 ball. Oh, she could see that.
This has been a phenomenal finish under the situation.
Watch the cue ball. I didn't know she could see that ball. Wow, what a finish there. The official time on the clock looks like 2 minutes and 36 seconds.
And wait for the beeps on every shot.
Well, and she's made a ball. And what we've seen here in the past in this situation where one player starts rushing, the other player also starts rushing. But
yeah. So you have, if you go solids here, you've got multiple open balls, and even if you don't get them, you're wasting 10-15 seconds on every shot, and you're down to nearly a minute left.
Yeah. Plus your extension. Yeah, I mean. And we're at around the 2 minute mark, and I think this match is over. I really do. Lulu has played a phenomenal tournament and taken out some great players. I think overall the experience at the TV table for her is going to go into the learning category.
Yeah.
Lots of experience. now with different things. Unfortunately, it came at a cost,
Yeah.
but she'll know next time, and
Won't forget it.
she'll be way more comfortable next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no more cue ball anywhere on the table.
Yeah.
No more touching the balls when she clears the rack. She'll never do that again.
No.
And we are at the 1 minute mark, and Sophia says, you know what?
I'm just going to get to 7.
I'm just going to win the match. And what I like here is she's taking her time. And if something were to happen here where Sophia didn't get a shot on the 8 ball, we're either going to see one of two things. We're either going to see Lulu jump out of her chair and run to try and make something happen, or we're going to see her get up, go to the table, shoot a ball, and then possibly concede. We're going with the second option here. We have 23 seconds left. There's just not enough time. You cannot come back from this. And all hats off to Lulu Kibaroglu. But our ladies champion here, crowned with a win of 6-4. It is going to be Sophia Mast. And wow, what a tournament for her. Amy, thank you so much for jumping in here with me. It was a blast.
Thank you.
And we will get our presentation from Stephen Jameson here in just a minute.
Of our Ultimate Pool president, Jordan Chavous, who is going to present the trophy to your Kansas City Women's Open champion. She is Sophia Mast, everybody.
Wow, there's been a lot going on here. Tough action all day. We've seen some upsets. We've seen some comebacks. And so it's really been a fun tournament as a spectator. And the crowd here has been really, really good. I love being here with the crowd around the arena.
Crowd's been great, absolutely, the whole event.
But it's going to be all business for these two guys here. Have you got a chance to see Joe Prince play a little bit?
That's the first ball I've ever seen him hit, so hopefully I learned something here.
Well,
I always learn something watching Chris.
Yeah. He beat Mike Banks Jr., I believe, 7-3, and then won his quarterfinal match 7-0. He beats out Brandon McLeod on the TV table here just a little while ago, and I believe it was also 7-3, and really made very few mistakes. So it's been a run for him, and it's his first time over here. He's ecstatic to be in the finals. Of course, Chris Melling is no stranger to a finals matchup, and he's no stranger to this arena. So his ability to be comfortable here is going to be top notch. And this is a pretty good run here for Joe. I don't know what my next ball is, but I don't think I see any issues. The 8 ball does go in the bottom right, correct?
Yeah. Uh-oh. Okay, that was all right.
I think it came out
I don't...
okay there. You think it plays, or do you think maybe you just play it on the side?
If it goes in the corner where the 2 was, he'll play 6-2, then 4 to get on the 8th. He wants to be about center table, but I'm not. It looks like he'll be able to make it in that bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah, and the way he's played it,
Uh-oh.
other than
Uh-oh.
getting a little close to the 8, had he gotten shape, that was definitely the play. But he's going to have to change it up here. Now I think the play is trying to get as straight as possible on the 2, so you can just back it up for the side. It's a very difficult shot.
This is tough. This is really tough. Yeah, he's going to try to go 2 rails here and actually bump the 8.
He definitely wants to make sure that he bumps the 8 and not anything else. It's a great
What a
shot.
What is this guy?
If that gives you any inclination as to how well he hits the ball. That's a good starter right there. Played it nice and soft. It's got a nice touch there. A little bit of angle, but the way he's cueing the ball, I don't think he'll have an issue making this one. Yeah, that's a great finish. There's plenty of options out there if you want to play in a league in America. But the nice thing about this is, of course, you know them, Adam Williams. People I'm listening may not know who he is, but he's not a great one, but he's a pool player.
Absolutely.
Jeremy.
I've actually seen him hit a couple balls in Vegas. He actually has a pretty straight stroke.
Oh, he plays real good. He plays it off a little bit. I'm going to bust his action here, but Jeremy Hundley plays very well. If you really want to go that far, I do commentary and a little bit of this, but I love pool and I play all the time. Everybody involved with Ultimate Pool USA is a pool player. So when things come up and you have a question about, how are the pool players going to react to it, you don't have to go far to get that answer. We're not going through a board of directors who's never touched a pool table. We are for the players, and that is the big difference.
Yeah.
And you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, it's going to be a no-brainer.
I'm sure you're going to be there, yeah? Make the trip out to the grand finals? Maybe we'll do the comms
it's
for
in
the
2025, right?
Yeah.
I have no idea what my schedule is going to be like.
You're going to be there. Don't worry about it.
Sometimes you don't have a choice.
We'll go to the Golden Steer.
I've heard great things.
You've never been there?
I haven't been there yet, no.
What are you doing?
No.
You've hung around with Shane enough that you surely should have been there.
Shane likes Morton's. He likes Morton's.
Oh, yeah.
He likes the Cajun ribeye.
I guess Brett took us to Morton's. Golden Steer is good. It's phenomenal.
Jason Weir told me really good things. Really good things about that place.
Trying to think of the place that we went to with John Mars. It's crazy. Him and Dustin Cook. He's here.
I've heard the name.
He's got a huge Southern accent. You probably heard him before you met him. A huge Southern accent. He's from Arkansas. Him and Skylar go golfing a lot. And I always give him a hard time for his golfing ability. He was talking about going to play actually, and they said there's a nice course around here. You said you went golfing somewhere around here, yeah? A couple days ago.
It was too warm. I just went to X Golf.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, the simulator.
Yep. Yeah, just work on my swing a little bit. I think he might leave.
That's not something you see a whole lot.
No.
Normally is going behind a ball like that. It's a little risky, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming he wants to do 13-9 last and then play the 8 up in the corner where the 10 is. So.
Does it go? The 8 ball?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Because we've said balls haven't gone twice and they did. So I'm just going to say it does.
I tell you what, the kick shot that Chris missed, I didn't think there was any way he could get to that ball
That's
cleanly.
one of the shots I'm talking about, yeah.
Pretty wild.
So, yeah, 13-9. So when he shoots the stop shot on the 13, he might want to pull it back a hair. That way he has a little bit of an angle going down towards the spot to give himself a little bit of room for that cue ball. If it doesn't go up, he'll get on the 9 to where he can bump the 3 a little bit, but you gotta get good on this though. You don't want to have an angle where your cue ball's close to the rail. Okay, you played that perfect. That was good. Some players will go 2 rails on that shot, and then you have a chance of having a back cut. So he played it to where he would never have a back cut.
I think our referee Darren is playing the fly swatter game.
Mm-hmm. Joe Prince got that fly there. All right, this is what I meant. If it doesn't go,
Just a little bump, yeah.
Yeah, if it didn't go, he played it this way on purpose, where he can just push the 8 towards the side here.
No.
Oh, wow, okay.
I thought he would bump the edge of the 3 and let it move
me
forward.
Too. Good shot. Great out, Chris.
Well,
great out.
Here it is. 4-4 and a race to 8. Our bridge.
Big break here.
Needs a ball down.
And I had a bunch of people message me this week saying, "Hey, why don't you break break head ball? You have such a good." That's why. That's why. It's a bad idea.
I had this discussion with Amy Beecham.
You'll go busted breaking head ball in this format.
Yeah, you leave the table open. Anybody over my ability has a huge chance of running out if you bust it all open.
Yeah.
The side ball break. If I'm playing somebody like you and I know I'm up against it and I'm the huge underdog, I'm never breaking head ball. I'll take my chances trying to bust everything out after I make a ball, but I'm never giving you the option to run out easily.
No, in New Orleans, the table was racking better, so that's why I broke head ball. But the table is not racking very well, which if there's a bunch of gaps, then breaking head ball is a bad idea. Chris just demonstrated it. Perfect. Sorry, Chris.
I don't think I've seen Chris break second ball too many times.
Let's see. Let's see what he wants to do. 4, 3, 7, 5. Go in. I don't like breaking out balls when I only have 2 balls left on the table, though.
Is he going to break it out here?
I don't think he can. I think he's going out to 13. I don't think you can. And even if you go out the 6 from this angle, you're going to double kiss the 6 and it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, and then possibly hook yourself.
Yeah, so I think he's going to use the 5 right here.
Okay, so he played that pretty well.
Yeah.
Trying to get to the 6 ball as quickly as possible. He just didn't really have great angles to do it.
You really don't want to. You want to leave balls on the table when you're going for a breakout, but I don't really like leaving the 7 because it's kind of in a weird spot. Like, okay, you break open the 6 here. You got to come back down for the 7 again.
Yeah. And with 7 other balls on the table, it makes it look really tough. But now here, he's spread out the middle of the table, so he's really only got to be careful about 1 or 2 balls, but he's still got the 6 to worry about.
Tell you what, that 7 ball might save him right now, though. He's about to go 3 rails with the cue ball and try to find that gap between the 8-10 to play the 7. Watch this. How's the speed? How's the speed? Perfect. If he gets out here, then he did the right thing by not shooting the 7. Even though he messed out the breakout with the 5, he did the right thing.
Rewind this video about 2 minutes, guys. You'll hear him. You'll hear Tyler say he shouldn't leave the 7.
Yeah.
Oh,
what a shot.
Well, and that'll be probably regarded as one of the best runouts in this finals match. Everything from here forward has been really simple.
If he goes on to win, it was because of this rack right here. Because going down 6-4 would not have been nice for him, especially since this was Chris's break.
Yeah, he's stealing the advantage back, trying to get it back into line.
He's gonna screw it back or stun out. Good shot. Very nice.
No, and it's going to be 5-5 once Joe makes the 8 ball, and we're going to be sitting at just under 16 minutes on the match clock. So race to 3, worst case scenario, we're looking at 5 games, 2.5 minutes apiece.
So, I mean, 3 runouts for these guys is no problem. So, especially when you have 2 out of 3 breaks. So I'm not going to count Joe out yet.
Watch the cue ball.
Oh,
that's dry.
Man, he's going to be sick about that. Stripes look pretty easy.
His reaction there, you could tell that...
you can put a wrap on this match, everybody.
Oh, and the 15 ball, the way it just sat up, it's...
He looked at going into the 7 here, but I would just... No chance I'm going into the 7 here.
I like this.
Yeah. You just shoot a soft screw shot. Play the 13 in the lower left, play the 14 next. Like, don't even mess with the 7. You're just asking for trouble. That's what he's doing.
I think he's listening to you.
Oh, okay.
Well,
okay, he could miss the 7. This is kind of funny, though. That's why I wanted to draw it. I think he was trying to hold for the 12.
That's tough trying to hold that ball because,
Yeah.
like you said, the bed of the table is fast.
If you just draw it towards the 2, nothing bad can really happen.
Well, are we going to see a Chris Melling run out?
He's going to have
Because
to shoot the 9 now. 9 bump into the 1 with the cue ball. The 1's going to hold the cue ball for the 11. So if he makes this, it's over. Can't imagine him shooting the 13 here. No way.
that's what he keeps looking at.
No, you got to play the 9.
Yeah, I think you're right. He's going to do that. He knows that's the shot.
Bump the 1. Everything's wide open.
Oh,
What? in the
got a
world?
terrible bump here.
Ooh.
It's not over, though, because he's still got the 13 in the corner.
What did we just say? Things get crazy towards the end?
So what are you thinking here? 13 in the corner. You'll have the 12 in this corner, not necessarily in this order.
13, 12, 10, 11, 8.
10 here,
Yeah, 10
Yeah.
in the lower left.
10 lower left. And then-
Or he's going to go across for the 11, then play the 10 in the upper right. He might play the 10 last. Just depends on where. He's going to play shape for both balls here, and whichever one he has the better look at. So now, yeah, you definitely have to play the 10 here. 'Cause you have no angle.
the 15-second shot clock did just come into play, but it's too little too late, I believe.
I think Chris cares about a 15-second shot clock.
Hey, it's got him a couple times. If the match were different and maybe it were 6-6 instead of 7-5, but it's not. Chris Melling, the magician, is going to win the Kansas City Open Championship. What a match that was. Hats off to Joe Prince, who really played well throughout the tournament.
It's going to bring in Ultimate Pool USA President Jordan Chavous to make the presentations. Your Ultimate Pool USA Open champion for the second time in a row is the magician, Chris Melling.
Where's the check?